Alright Bonehawks, this video is all about Quan Chi, and today we're going over his portals, what they do, what kind of things you can do with them. I've been playing Quan Chi for like 75 hours straight pretty much since the patch hit, and I've come up with some things, and I'm not a be-all, know-all kind of person, so if you found some cool stuff, share it in the comments down below. But I did promise to be the channel on YouTube for all things Quan Chi, so we're going to go over them. I'll show you what I found today, how to use them. I'm going to spend just a little bit of time on the purple one, just because it's been out, we kind of know what it does. But for any newer players that might be watching this, I will cover that one as well. We're going to start with that one, actually. Let's get into it.
Accept your death.
Okay, so purple portal is where we're going to get the majority of our chip damage and our meter gain from, because this turns your regular skull from just 1 into 3. Doing crazy chip, crazy meter build, and depending on the farther away you are, you can actually get a frame trap into the bone dome. So that's super important. Make sure that you become really annoying with this into this. Alternatively, you also get access to an enhanced Big Chompy. There he is. And that's actually a combo starter. From anywhere on screen, although you're unlikely to hit it like full screen kind of a thing, unless you catch someone like, say, try to jump over it. And it does pretty good damage for Quan. Where you might find this extra useful is kind of if somebody has kind of found their way up into your face, you can actually combo it from standing 1-2. So you can kind of give them the business with that. 347 damage and then full screen again, back into it. So that's definitely something that you can do. Generally speaking, you want to have this one out when you're far away from them, just because you want to be throwing stuff the whole time. Also, it enhances your overhead projectile into those. It'll actually turn them into mids. And then if you enhance it, you get the overhead and the 3 mids behind it. So you can see it kind of comboed twice into itself. At certain ranges, it'll bounce, then you get a standing 4, then you go back into your portal again. Or you could do something else, standing 4 into whatever. I just tend to try, if I'm going to use that, I was trying to have this up if I'm zoning at all times. And then also, it turns your air skull into a kind of heat-seeking projectile. It'll try its best to arc its way to find your opponent, no matter where they are on screen. This regular one is usually not too bad anyways. Jeez, I think I'd be able to do it. I just find myself not using the air skull in the purple too much. And just keep in mind that one enhanced move will make it go away. And other than that, you can do 2 regular moves while you're within this, and then it'll go away. So keep that in mind. If you want to use an enhanced move, you're going to have to figure out a way to set that portal up again. See, full screen with this move, the secondary hits don't hit, so you have to time your standing 4 a little bit better. But yeah, you can do 1 regular move, 2 regular moves, or 1 enhanced move, and then you'll have to figure out how to set it up again. So that's basically the purple portal in a nutshell. Now let's move on to our enhanced purple portal, which is this guy here. So this portal got some really nice changes. Before, it kind of went away like right away, but now it kind of stays on screen for a little bit. You can move it around, and you can use it in a couple different ways. One way you can use it that I found really useful is doing it as a kind of get off me tool. So you do a poke into this, and it'll push them all the way full screen if you want to, when you're back to zoning again. Usually when I do this, I try to push them just about full screen, so I can get, just so I have enough time to get my purple portal out as well. So I'll do something like, there. As the force field goes away, I get my purple. And they can't go past this. I've seen some moves kind of skirt it over the top, maybe. I'm not exactly sure if that's what happened. But yeah, this works really good against characters like Johnny Cage. So like you can stand behind here with your portal, and it's basically a wall. You know, they can't move past it at all. So it's very, very useful in that sense, just to keep your opponents away. And this is kind of where Quan Chi has become quite meter dependent. So make sure that you watch your meter, and that's where like having things like this and being able to have them block those are really, really good. But yeah. You're going to need meter for that, but it creates a really useful force field. One of the funnier things I've seen so far are peacemakers just trying to torpedo through this thing. And you know what? Maybe I'll show you what this looks like, because it's quite funny. So yeah, you just throw this out, put that there. It just stops dead in the tracks. Same thing with like Shadow Kick or any sort of those fast advancing moves. It cuts off that one trajectory. So let's talk about teleport characters, because a teleport character doesn't really care about this, right? Or do they? So you can move the portal basically wherever you want, and you can do this with any portal, whether you're being hit or anything. If you're being hit, you can kind of move the portal around with you. So yeah, but Smoke doesn't really care about this in front of us because he can just teleport behind us and get a full combo punish. So one option that we could do, let's say we do like a combo that hits him full screen. Boom, boom. Set up this portal behind us. He tries to teleport. Boom, he's gonna hit that wall behind us, and we can punish him if we want. Once he teleports behind us. Come on, the hands, come out. That wasn't a punish, but you get the idea. So basically that would cut off one route that character would have to get to us to kind of stop our zoning. So if he wants to get in, he kind of just has to come in forwards, advancing towards us, which Smoke can still do quite well. So this is probably one of Quan Chi's hardest matchups right now. Johnny Cage feels way easier since we got this portal out, but Smoke still feels hard because he can teleport forward, he can teleport behind us, you know, with certain cameos, he's quite annoying. So yeah, I still have to play a little bit more with our new Quan Chi, but I would say that right now Smoke feels like probably the worst matchup that we have. Anyways, that was a just random side note I thought I'd throw in there for you. One idea I've kind of had with this that I haven't really played around too much because I don't know how viable it is, but technically you can make it so that you can do wall combos mid-screen, but it kind of involves you kind of having to sandwich them between this thing. You know, just whatever wall combos you kind of do. I don't know if that's really a viable way to use this thing, but it's just an option if maybe you had an idea of a kind of combo that you could do with that. But that is something you can do, technically. And I think that's pretty much it with this portal. Basically, the main thing is just use it as a force field to keep them away. Use it as a get-off-me tool. Use it as a get-off-me tool. Don't worry, portal, we'll talk about you next. Or put it behind you to stop teleport characters from getting in. So those are the kind of 3 ways I've been using it so far. This is always evolving. I could watch this video back in 2 months and be like, what the hell are you doing? You totally forgot about this. But I won't. Alright, moving on to the last portal. Alright, so lastly we have, what's the official name for this move again? The Zone of Waste. Zone of Waste. So this will continually suck back your opponent's meter. Now, if you look at the actual meter itself, it's kind of like, well, that's not very much meter, like, and that's what I thought. I'm like, I don't know how good this is. That's not really a whole lot of meter. But what I failed to realize was this essentially disables their breaker, because it's just enough meter for them not to have breaker available, and they're constantly like going back and forth between having it and not as you're hitting them. So yeah, let's see if I can show you kind of a combo here in the corner, so you can just get an idea of what will set the opponent to breaker mode on. So just so you can see that we're, oh, doesn't help with the blocking. We're breaking. We put this Zone of Waste out there. They weren't able to break. You do have to be careful though, because if some of his combos go really high into the air, and if he goes outside of the portal, see the portal went away there. If he goes outside of the portal, it'll stop draining his meter and he'll be able to break. So how this works is you only get the buffs from this when your opponent is standing in this. The regular one, you just get one real quick hit of armor, and then the enhanced one stays on the screen for 510 frames, which is actually so crazy. So yeah, so not only does it drain meter, I'm getting ahead of myself a bit here, you also get one hit of armor. You can see that takes a minute for Quan Chi to actually get that hit of armor when he starts to glow like that. But then you get that hit of armor, and then it's just whenever you want to use it, you can use it to get out of combos. Like, let's say you put this thing on screen. Like, the way that I use this defensively is if someone's approaching me, like say I've accidentally zoned myself into the corner, if they're getting close, I'll just put this thing on the screen. And if they start hitting me, you can pull it over towards them, you'll get a hit of armor, and it essentially acts like a breaker. So I've got Shang Tsung set to combo me here, so we'll see here. I'm put out the zone of... He's not in the zone, so I am slowly moving the zone over. There's my hit of armor, get a free breaker, and we're out of it. So every once in a while, if you can afford the meter, kind of throw it out if you feel like you're going to get rushed down or something. You can kind of use it in that way to get essentially a free breaker. You can also use this in zoning exchanges as well. Say Shang Tsung wants to hit you with the ground fireball, you can get the advantage. Now, it's important to note that this is not invincibility, this is just armor. So you will still take the damage from the move that hits you. So I've already been caught with my own pants down where I don't have enough health, so I throw up the armor thinking like, aha, I'm going to bust through, but no, I didn't survive the hit, so the armor was essentially useless. So keep that in mind, that you kind of have to know where your health values lie. And then lastly, I kind of posted a little thing yesterday about this, but you can use it for armored corner pressure. So now they're in the corner, now we have armor, we just go ham. We're just going to throw frame data out the window, we don't really care because we're just going to counter back. Be aware of multi-hitting things though, like Liu Kang's forward 4 for example, is one of them. Melina has some fast moves, but yeah, if you can do a combo and end this kind of in the portal, just keep in mind again, there is a slight second there before you actually have the armor, so you do have to be aware of wake-ups and that kind of a thing. And this is where we can get pretty big-brained with this, because instead of ending it with this, what we can do is go boom, 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 end it with this. That creates a force field to protect us until we can get our armor, and then we go in and we go ham. That is expensive though, keep in mind, unless you're just going to do the regular one. This would be a 2-bar setup, whenever I dropped it, but you get the idea. So we do this one, kind of push the opponent to the corner, and then that one, just to wait until we get our armor, and then do your mix-ups, do your conversions, whatever you want, and if you have meter, you can go right back into that same setup. And there's no limit to how many portals you can have on, well, you can have all 3 portals on screen at the same time, is what I should say. Sorry, you have to do meter burn this one first, and regular, and this one. You cannot move them independently of each other though. When you're moving them, they're moving them all as one, so keep that in mind. I have been tried to move this, or tried to move this at one time, and move it to the wrong, kind of out of where I actually wanted strategically to have it. So yeah, that's something that you should be definitely aware of. And that's it, an overview of Quan Chi's portals. Let me know what you think, let me know what kind of stuff you found out there. Hopefully you found this useful. If you're into some Quan Chi stuff, just hit subscribe if you haven't already, because yeah, I'm going to be posting out all sorts of things with them. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, because it really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't, because I make new videos almost every single day. Hashtag Bonehawks, all that stuff, and we'll see all you Bonehawks in the next video.
Accept your death.